friends, welcome or welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. Today we're doing an Oracle deck review, and the deck that I have for you is the Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle. This is by Lisa Estabrook. Now this particular deck was kindly gifted to me by Inner Traditions, Bear and Company publishers, and I just wanted to say a very big thank you to them for sending this deck over for me to review. Right, so what you can expect in this Oracle review, I will be, of course, shifting the camera angle in just a little bit, but I'll be talking about my experience with using this particular deck, some of the tips that have worked for me, and how I enjoyed the process of understanding what this deck truly means and kind of tapping into its energy as well. But before we get into that, let me just take you through what is written at the back of this book, and then I will change the camera angle and we'll get into the review. All right, so this is what the front looks like. All right, of course, I'll show you a better view in just a little bit. So the back says, tending the garden of your soul. And then it says, every single human being is searching for meaning, belonging, peace, love, and joy in their lives. The Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle will help you remember the simple truth that all of nature is sharing, that we are cyclical beings intimately entwined with the earth, the moon, and all of life, that we are fully supported, and that we have everything we need within us to be happy, to be whole, despite the hardships and challenges life may bring us. That's very, very beautiful. The 44 soul plant spirits want us to consider the possibility that our stories, our experiences, our circumstances, and our core beliefs, values, and morals all provide the rich soil for the beautiful unfolding of our own unique lives. It is food for our thoughts, fuel for self-reflection, and fertilizer for our ultimate personal growth. The truth, like a seed waiting to germinate, can only be found within your own heart, and there is no one better qualified to nurture it than you. This deck will serve as a trusted companion in learning to live your life guided by the wisdom of your own heart and soul. What a beautiful write-up. Lisa Estabrook is an artist, way shower, herbalist, and plant whisperer. The founder of the online Soulflower community garden. Lisa lives in Yarmouth, Maine. All right, very, very beautiful. Cover illustration is by Lisa Estabrook. Cover design by Lisa Estabrook and Damien Keenan. All right, beautiful. So we are going to shift the camera angle, and then I'll walk you through my own thoughts and my review of this very, very beautifully illustrated Oracle deck. Give me a second. So this is what the box looks like. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is a magnetic open and shut box. The moment you open the box, you can see the guidebook along with the cards. The cards by themselves are much bigger than the standard tarot size, which is expected for an Oracle deck. Comprises of 44 full cards, as we've spoken about before. There's a very smooth matte finish to it, and this is high quality cardstock. One thing that I really liked about the back cover of the cards is that each card has a different hue of the colors, and I thought that was so individualistic and so beautiful as well. Now, for me in particular, shuffling with this deck, yes, it's a little bit on the larger side, but I have been more about picking each card rather than shuffling it. But yes, I could see how, shuffling might be a little bit difficult with this card deck just because it's a little bit bigger. But I also do find it durable in that sense because the cardstock is pretty thick, it's pretty high quality. And that by itself, I would say, rifle shuffling might be a little bit difficult, but the normal way of shuffling, yeah, I think it should be okay with this particular deck. Now, let's talk a little bit about what this card deck is all about, okay? So each card kind of showcases a unique plant spirit, or as the author Lisa calls it, the Deva, all right? And each of this unique plant spirit, it radiates a specific healing energy and embodies certain soul qualities and, of course, universal spiritual truths as well. Now, I really have enjoyed kind of going through Lisa's mind as she shares her knowledge about each of the plant spirits. Okay, I think that first off, she is so knowledgeable. Like, there's already so much of information on the card itself, but if you go into the guidebook, it's like so many different layers coming through, and that's just hats off to Lisa's knowledge about plant spirits. And I found that the guidebook in particular, especially Lisa's energy coming through very, very strongly, very gentle, very loving. It's kind of like a hug coming from nature. And for me in particular, I think that it whispers truth in the most nourishing and compassionate ways. So for me, I have enjoyed kind of going through this deck. I've also used it for many, many collective readings. I've also taken the time to use it for my personal readings as well. For me, I particularly enjoyed how each card features like this hand-painted flower, and the artwork by itself, I'm just absolutely blown away. Each card, Lisa's talent just shines through. It is full of warmth, full of life, and of course, it is accompanied by this heartfelt message by the plant spirit. And you can tell, first off, Lisa is absolutely talented, and you can absolutely tell that as well. But you can see how she's painted each one of these cards with so much of care, so much of love, and that shines through in the energy of the deck as well. Now, every flower seems to hold its own spirit, its own voice. And over time, what happens as you keep drawing these cards, you start to develop a relationship with many of them. You start to see them around you, start to notice them around you. And that has also been a really magical experience for me as well. Some of the cards have shown up again and again for me, and that by itself, has been nice to kind of look deeper into each time I've interpreted it. All right, and one thing that I personally liked about this deck is the emotional resonance. These cards just speak directly to you, and in such a loving, caring way. It's not abstract, but actually very, very focused, and more so kind of gives you support on a soul level. And I think it might be the artwork, the energy of the artwork. It just helps you slow down. And I think in today's fast-paced world, it is so necessary. It is so necessary for us to be mindful of the pace at which we are living our life. And I think that this particular deck has kind of put me in a zone to slow down, to listen inwards, to look at the plants around me, to tap into their energy, and of course, to kind of use the messages that are coming through and treat myself with compassion. It's, I did say that, I was using it for personal readings, but it doesn't really feel like I'm doing a reading. It feels like, I'm kind of speaking to each of these cards and kind of talking through, all right, well, I understand the energy that you're in, and I understand the messages that you're giving me. So how am I going to apply this into my life? And it's more of a conversation than a reading, which I think speaks volumes to the energy behind the artwork, and of course, Lisa's talent as well. For me, I have used this particular deck to help me navigate my stress, and even just helping me slow down in life, helping me look inward, helping me understand myself much better. I think that it does shine a lot of deep truths about your soul, but in a very gentle way as well. And it's very, very encouraging. This deck is very encouraging, It kind of tells you that, yes, there's always room for improvement, but it's also beautiful to cherish where you are at right now. And that's something that I have admired about this particular deck as well. So very unique deck, The cards shuffle smoothly. I guess a little bit about the size. It is slightly bigger than the normal tarot size. So that might be, I guess I would say, it is user-friendly, but I, for one, have been mostly picking the cards. Like for Oracle, I just pick the card that I feel like I want to kind of look deeper into at that point in time. That's just a me thing. So yeah, for me, that has been how I've been using this deck. But overall, it's pretty comfortable. The cardstock by itself is very sturdy, very, I wouldn't say too thick, but I would just say the perfect amount that helps you with shuffling as well. I would say that this deck is both for beginners as well as experienced users. For beginners, it gives you such a gentle starting point to exploring the plant world, the plant spirit, as Lisa calls it. And I think that there are, especially if you go through the guidebook, there are very specific keywords that can help you remember what the plant spirit is trying to teach you that particular day, the knowledge that it is sharing, and the energy of that particular. So it's not just, for slow reading, which I would of course, recommend this particular deck for, a very slow and gentle understanding of the plant spirit world and how to use that energy. But I would also say that there is space for you to use it for quick understanding as well. There are affirmations for quick understanding, and the cards by themselves have so much of information on them that it allows that quick study of the card deck as well. Now, what I would recommend personally is, holding on to a card for a couple of days or even a week or even a month. There is that much of information for you to kind of dig deeper into, kind of mull over, think about it, see how it applies to your daily life. I would recommend holding on to each card for a longer period of time rather than just a daily draw, even though you can do it for a daily draw. But I think that the essence, the true essence of these cards are more for a longer period of time, which I think just speaks volumes to the amount of knowledge that Lisa has put into this particular deck. And for me, I think that this deck is very, very clear. And more importantly, the simplistic design just makes you feel so comfortable to step into the plant spirit. And I have enjoyed this Oracle deck. I think it puts me in a very, very calming mindset, which is something that I have just enjoyed exploring that side of me. Overall, I would say that this deck carries a very nurturing energy, very uplifting energy, and it does support you in terms of your soul check-in. So if that is something that you are looking for, or you're looking for a deck that can support that in a gentle, nourishing, compassionate way, I would highly recommend this. Overall, really, really good deck for reflective journaling. I would also kind of use this for an affirmation draw. Daily affirmation, weekly, or even monthly, I would just say absolute green light for this particular deck. For me, my experience with this deck has been very, very transformative. I'm still in the process of going through the entire deck. Like I said, I've been enjoying this deck, one card, taking it for a couple of days rather than, one card at a time. But I have been using this deck a lot for my collective readings. I've probably used it in at least 20 readings up until now. That's how much I have kind of looked to this deck to help me with collective readings. So that has been very, very nice experience for me. So overall, if you're looking for a deck that can help you understand plant spirit energy and how you can use it for your life, this deck is an absolute wonder. All right. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this review helped you gain a good starting point to understand if this deck, this Oracle deck, is an alignment for your needs at this point in time. Thank you so much for listening, for watching all the way up until here, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.